Hey runners, we're now at episode 10 of the Stretch and Stability series. Well done for making it this far. Hopefully you're really reaping the rewards from all the hard work you've been doing, feeling more connected in your body, more stable when you're running, and hopefully your recovery is improving. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going into a calf stretch, but to start, we're just going to fold forwards from a standing position. So with the feet shoulder width, we're going to fold the arms, and then we're just going to allow the body to roll forwards, keeping the legs nice and straight. Don't worry if you don't go down as far as I am here, but we want to be nice and heavy with the upper body. So allow the upper body just to relax. And then from here, we're just going to twist side to side to get a nice release through the QL. So through the outside of the lower back in this muscle called the quadratus lumborum. And just twisting side to side. Allow the upper body to be nice and heavy. And then we can come back to center and just take some nice gentle pulses here. And then we're just going to bring the hands down onto the floor. Now, if you need to bend the knees to bring the hands onto the floor, that's totally fine. And then you're just going to walk the hands forwards. And then from here, we're just going to push up through the shoulders, and we're just going to drive one heel down to the floor at a time. So just getting a nice stretch into the calf. And if this is too easy for you, you can just walk the hands further forwards. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to place the right foot on top of the left heel and just drive the left heel down to the floor. And in this position here, we're trying to keep the weight shifted into the feet. So keep the weight shifted into your left foot and really try and drive the heel down to the floor. Now if your foot or your heel comes straight down to the floor, you can just walk the hands further forwards. So some of you might have great flexibility in your calf, and your heel might just come straight down to the floor, in which case just walk the hands further forward and then try and push back into the feet or into that one foot that's on the floor. And we're just going to do 10 more seconds here. Try and be nice and long with your spine. So try not to round in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Onto the right side, I'm just going to show a slightly easier position. So walk the feet in a little bit and driving the heel down to the floor. And using that other leg just to pull the heel down to the floor. So sort of putting some load onto the right leg, shifting the weight into the back foot. So in this case, my heel is down to the floor, so I might want to just shuffle back a little bit more so that heel isn't touching the floor, keeping the leg nice and straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then both feet down on the floor, and again, just alternating, pressing one heel down to the floor at a time. And then we're going to find that initial position again. So from here, just walk the hands back in. Allow the knees to bend if you need them to bend. We're going to fold the arms, and we're just going to hold here and just pulse up and down very gently. If you do feel more comfortable here with a slight soft bend in the knees, that's totally fine. And then we're just going to sway side to side. So more of a tilting motion rather than just rocking side to side. We want to feel that we're twisting side to side, like you're turning a steering wheel. Good. Hands come back down onto the floor. Don't worry if you need to bend your knees. Walk the hands forward again into a down dog position, and then make sure you're pushing up through the shoulders and then alternating by pressing one heel down to the floor at a time. Good. We're then going to place the right foot on top of the left heel, drive the heel down to the floor. Remember, you can increase the intensity by walking the hands further forward or walking the feet back. Make sure that the weight is shifted into that back foot. And really try and drive that heel down to the floor, using the other leg to add a bit of load, add a bit of force. Good. To the other side. Left foot on top of the right, drive the heel down to the floor. Good, and then back to both feet, alternating, pressing one heel down to the floor at a time. Good, and then from here, we're just gonna walk the hands back in, and then we're just gonna lower down into a rush squat. So where we've got the feet nice and close together, we're gonna drop the knees down to the floor, and then we're just gonna come back to that toe stretch that we visited earlier in the series. So leaning back, getting a nice deep stretch through the toes, and just holding here to finish our section on the lower limb. So on the area just below the knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So coming into a quadruped position, so on your hands and your knees, and we're going to be going into a bird dog, but first I just want to start by understanding the feeling of extending the hips. So just starting with the left side, extend the leg back behind you, and then trying not to collapse with the lower back. We're just going to try and lift that leg up. Okay, and we're just going to hold there and really try to stay more neutral with the spine, and then come down. We'll just do 5 reps here. So that's 1, 2, and try not to rotate the hips. You'll know you're rotating the hip if your leg kind of turns out like this, and you'll feel that from the foot. So we want to try and stay in. We're activating the glutes as we lift. 4, and then last one, 5. Good. Let's go over to the right side, extending the leg back behind you. Also think about pointing your toes as you do this, really trying to stay neutral with the spine, not dumping. Okay, let's go. Let's lift. 1, activate the glutes, and down. 2, 3, 4, and last one, lifting up for 5. Good. Okay, come back into the quadruped position, so you're on your hands and your knees. And then applying a similar feeling with the hips, you're going to reach forward with the left hand and extend back with the right foot. So we'll just start with that. So in this quadruped position, I'm going to reach forward with my left hand and then extend back with my right foot. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to go on the other side. Reaching forwards, extending back, and trying not to collapse with the spine. So try and avoid dumping in like this. Try and stay nice and engaged through your core. So that's 4 reps. Let's go to 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Good. So we're going to go into a side plank. So the side plank is going to challenge the outside of the core, so into the obliques. Really crucial for creating stability, which is also crucial when you're running. So in the side plank, we're going to go into a bent elbow position. So coming onto your mat, we're going to bend the elbow, and then we're just going to drive the hips up. So this is the tension point we want here. We want to try and activate into the obliques. And then I want you to just have the top foot either resting on the bottom foot or it can be slightly behind. Now what we're looking for here is to try and keep an engagement through the glutes and try and pull the shoulders back and down and lift the hips up nice and high. And we're just going to hold in this position here. So we'll hold here for about 20 seconds. And you're really trying to keep the engagement through the glutes. If we're collapsing this way, we're not going to get that true activation into the core. And really trying to lift the hips up here. Try and control and maintain the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop down to the floor. I then want you to spin round and come onto your bums, and then hands behind you. So we've got a little bit of shoulder extension here, and we're just going to drive the hips up here and squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then just engage the glutes in this reverse plank position. This is a great position because whilst you're challenging your core, you're also working on a little bit of extension with the shoulders. Don't worry if you can't get that full extended position. If you're down here a little bit, totally fine. Just work to try and activate by squeezing the shoulder blades together. If you work at a desk, this is a really good position for you. If you think about rounding into the desk during your day, you want to try and go against that and try and squeeze your shoulder blades together and then stop there. Good. We're going to go over to the other side on the side plank. So just spin yourself round, and then we've got a bent elbow, and then that foot's on the floor. The other foot can be on top of the foot or can be slightly behind, and then we're lifting the hips up. Really important here to get that activation through the glutes, squeeze the shoulder blades together,
and then just holding here, trying to lift the hips up as high as possible. Think about keeping the hips forward. We don't want to rotate back like this. We're trying to activate more into the obliques. And we're going to hold here for 20 seconds. Keep it up, guys. Keep the hips nice and high. Lift up. Keep the glutes on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Good. Okay, let's go back to our bird dog. So coming into a quadruped position. So on your hands and your knees. And then we're going for those extensions or finding that sensation of reaching forward and reaching back. So let's go for left hand, right foot. Reach forward and reach back, trying not to collapse with the spine. And we can move a little bit faster now. Also just try to be conscious of where your hip position is. So we don't want to rotate out to the side. Try and stay nice and linear and grounded in this motion. Good. Okay, we're gonna go for 10 reps. So coming into 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Good. Okay, just take a little rest in this quadruped position, and we're soon gonna go into the side plank. Okay, so from here, we're just gonna come over onto the side, keeping the elbows bent, and then driving the hips up. We can either have one foot on top of the other or the foot behind. Really try and drive the hips up, glutes engaged, shoulders back and down, and holding in this position here. Also, just make sure that you're not with the shoulder behind the elbow. We want to have that shoulder above the elbow. And we're just going to hold here 10 more seconds. 5, 4, hips up high, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop down. Okay, hands come behind you. We're going to go into our reverse plank. Just take a little rest from that side plank. And remember, in this position, we're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up the chest, but whilst maintaining that activation through the glutes. So let's go. Let's drive the hips up, shoulder blades together, glutes on. And we're just going to hold here. Let's get to 30 seconds here. Remember, if you're down here, if you're not where I am, I've got good mobility in my shoulders. If you're just here, that's totally fine. Just try to think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. Find your breath. Got 10 more seconds here. You've got this, guys. Keep it up. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop down to the floor. We're going to go over to the other side. So starting on top of the elbow, make sure that shoulder starts over the elbow. One foot down on the floor, the other foot on top or behind. Hand can go on the hip, glutes engaged, shoulders back. And then really try to just lift this hip up here to create more of a challenging static position. We want to try and get that hip up nice and high. Keeping the glutes engaged. 10 more seconds. Make sure the hips are facing forward so you're not twisting around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Cool. Take a little rest. We're going to just do one more bird dog, and then we're going to move away from our core and stability work. So just take 10 seconds. I certainly need it. Okay, coming into the quadruped position on your hands and knees. And let's go. So we're extending the right leg back, reaching forward with the left hand. So let's go. Trying not to collapse into the lower back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2, 9, and 10. Good. Hold on, guys. So we're just going to come into a kneeling position. And I want to keep my hips relatively above my knees. And then I'm going to walk the hands forward. And I'm going to try to push the chest down towards the floor.
Now, for some of you, you might not have the range here, and it might be that your forehead comes down to the floor. The level up from there will be chin to floor, and then the final level will be trying to get the chest to the floor. Okay, I'm working with the chin at the moment. I'm trying to create this extension in the spine, so I'm feeling like I'm pushing the bum up towards the ceiling to find this position here. And I'm just going to hold here, really trying to extend the spine, so try and pull the chest forwards as you push the bum up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're just going to go for some light movement. So we're just going to move between flexion and extension in the spine. So what I want you to feel initially is an engagement in the glutes and pushing into the floor, creating a small rounding in the spine, and then back into the extended position. And we're just going to move between these two. So pushing the hands into the floor, tucking the hips under, and then extending the spine, bringing the chest up. Okay, so we'll just do a few reps here. So as you come up, really feel that you're pushing the hands into the floor, tucking the chin in, tucking the hips in. It's a bit of a small motion, but we're still getting that spine to move between flexion and extension. Good, last one. Nice, cool. Walk the hands up, and then we're going to come into a seated position. You can cross your legs here. And we're going to go for a similar motion with the flexion and extension, so where we're rounding the spine and then opening up the chest. We're going to go with the hands behind the head. You can interlace the fingers, hands behind the head, and then from here we're going to draw the elbows together and tuck the chin at the same time. So drawing the elbows together, tuck the chin, create that rounding in the upper spine. And then after, we're going to pin the elbows back, lift up the chin and open up the chest. Okay, let's go again. Tucking the chin, bring the elbows together, round the spine. Should also be getting a nice stretch in the neck, in the cervical spine. Open up the chest, pull the elbows back together. 2 more. Elbows together, round the spine. And then lift up the chest, pin the elbows back. Good. Stay in this position here, and we're just going to move laterally, so we're just going to bend side to side. So I'm going to go over to my right, keeping the elbows back, and just hold here. You should be feeling this in the QL, so just in the outside of the lower back. And then let's go over to the other side. Keep the elbows pinned back. And just holding here. Good. Okay, we're going to integrate the two motions. So we've got the lateral bending and we've got the flexion and extension. We're going to do a full rotation. So the way to think about this is imagine you're drawing a circle with one elbow and the other side is just following suit. So with my hands behind my head, I'm going to imagine that I'm drawing a circle with my left elbow and the other side is just going to follow. So I'm opening up in that extension and then I'm coming over to the left, closing the elbows back in. I'll continue going the same way. So I'm drawing a circle with my left elbow and then I'm opening up the spine as I come back to center and then starting to round back in as I come over to the left. And I'm just going to continue going through these thoracic rotations. These feel lovely. Closing in. Opening up the chest. Bending over to the left. Bringing the elbows together, rounding the spine. Let's go the other way now. So I'm going to imagine I'm drawing a circle with my right elbow and the other side is just going to follow suit. So coming over to the left, bending over to the left and then opening up the chest, lifting up the chin, bending now over to the right, tucking the chin, flexing the spine, so rounding the spine, continuing in the same direction. Oh, these feel so good. Coming over to the right, and then closing in, elbows come together, and just continuing this motion. Really trying to integrate the chin. We want to get the benefit in the very upper spine, in the cervical spine or the neck. So as we close in, really tuck the chin. And then as we open, you can lift up.
Good. Okay, let's come back to our puppy pose. So just in a kneeling position, keeping the hips above the knees, and just walking the hands forward, and then dropping the chest down to the floor. So after those, I feel like I've got a little bit more range here. Remember, don't worry if your forehead is touching the floor. There's kind of 3 levels to this: forehead to the floor, chin to floor, and then chest to the floor being the advanced level, which I struggle with. And we're tilting the tailbone, so pushing the bum up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to hold here. Take some deep breaths in here. Gaze is between the hands, unless your forehead is on the floor. Good, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Walk the hands up. Nice. And that concludes our section on the spine. Okay, runners, that concludes our session for today. Hope to see you on the mat soon.